Have you ever wondered how companies figure out what new products to launch or how politicians gauge public opinion? Often they don't ask every single person, but instead they use a smaller group of people to represent the whole population. This is called sampling and it is a crucial part of statistics. But how do you choose this smaller group? Do you pick them randomly? Select them in a systematic way or make sure they represent different groups of the people. In this video, we'll break down 3 common sampling techniques: random sampling, systematic sampling and stratified sampling in a way that is easy to grasp even if you are not a math whiz. So let's get started with understanding what are sampling techniques. So imagine you want to know the favorite food of people in a big city. You can't ask every single person, so you take a smaller group called a sample to represent the whole city. And there are several ways to choose this sample, and that's where sampling technique comes in. So let's understand 3 common types of sampling techniques. First is the random sampling. Now random sampling is like throwing a big party and inviting a random bunch of people from the whole city. You want to make sure everyone has an equal chance of being invited, so you use a random method to select your guests. And here is how it works. You make a list of all the people in the city or a big pool of potential participants. You use a random process like a lottery or a computer algorithm to select a subset of people from the list, and then selected people becomes your sample. So imagine you want to survey 100 people in a city of 1 million. You create a list of all 1 million people and use random number generator to select 100 names. These 100 people are your random sample. Now why is random sampling good? Because it helps ensure that your sample is representative of the whole city, and you can be confident that your results will be close to the true population values. Next comes systematic sampling. So systematic sampling is like selecting every 10th person from a list of people in the city. You are still taking a smaller group, but you are doing it in a more organized way. That is, you make a list of all the people in the city. You decide on a fixed interval like every 10th person to select participants, and then you start with a random process and then select every 10th person from the list. So imagine you want to survey 100 people in a city of 1 million. You create a list of 1 million people and decide to select every 10,000 person. That is 1 million divided by 100. That becomes 10,000. So you start with a random person, say number 5, and then select every 10,000 person from there. Now why is systematic sampling so good? Because it is efficient and easy to implement, especially when you have large population. However, it might not be as representative as random sampling if there is a pattern in the list. Next comes stratified sampling. Now stratified sampling is like inviting people from different neighborhoods in the city to ensure you get a good mix of people from each area. And here you first divide the city into smaller groups or the strata based on the characteristics like age, income or location. Then you take a random sample from each strata. So imagine you have a survey of 100 people in a city with 5 neighborhoods A, B, C, D, E. And you divide the city into these 5 strata and take a random sample of 20 people from each neighborhood. Now why is stratified sampling so good? Because it ensures that your sample is representative of different subgroups in the population. This is because when you want to analyze specific characteristics or compare results across different groups. So to summarize this, we can say random sampling is inviting a random bunch of people from whole city. Systematic sampling means selecting every nth person from the list. That can be 10th, 11th or whatever number you want to use. Stratified sampling means inviting people from different neighborhoods or subgroups to ensure a good mix. And these sampling techniques helps you choose a smaller group that represent the whole city so that you can make informed decision or draw conclusions about the population. And there you have it. A crash course in sampling techniques that's easy to understand even if you are not a stats enthusiast. So whether it's a random sampling, systematic sampling or stratified sampling, each method has its own strength and weakness. So by choosing the right sampling technique, you can ensure that your results are accurate, reliable and representative of the population. So next time you hear about a survey or a study, remember there is a lot of thought and effort that goes into selecting the right sample, and that's what makes the results meaningful. Thank you.